Howdy folks, good afternoon, how are we all doing? So I just have to talk a little quietly just because we're basically at a museum right now. We're at something called the Bailey Matthews Shell Museum. It's actually one of the largest shell museums known in the world. But just look at this. See all these displays right here? This basically indicates all different types of shells that you can find basically here and even some other parts of the world. But this is actually through the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation, which is also abbreviated as SCCF. But like here it talks a bit about the Florida fighting conch. I've actually seen quite a bunch of these. They're right here, especially in Lemon Bay. They're basically native to here. And you see right there, like on the picture, those are its siphons. So basically one siphon lets the water in, one siphon lets the water out in the form of waste. Most mollusks have that type of system, but mollusks in general can be some of the most diverse sea creatures known, because octopus can fall under mollusk, gastropods. Practically all of what we're looking at are all examples of mollusks, which are basically describe shelled organisms. Oh wow, this is cool. Yeah, zebra arc. I've actually done a video on this one in the past, but the time that I showed it to you guys, it only showed one part of the shell. But these are bivalves, so you actually have a chance to see the complete setup. Some angel wings. See, what I like the most about shells in general is the fact that a lot of them are named after the feature that you see. So like, for example, as we were talking, zebra arc, they call it that given the fact that you can see there are brown and white, and it repeats. And in a sense, most people think zebras are black and white, but that's actually not the case. The black that you think it is, it's actually brown if you look at it close enough. Here we go. The lightning whelk. These are one of the only gastropods that actually has an opening on the left side. You honestly don't really get to see that too often. Whereas, for instance, the crown conch, you'll see that it opens up on the right side instead. Now what's neat is, I can't remember the exact name, but each soft-bodied organism, when they have a shell, they have that hard covering right there that protects them from any threats that they may face. But then there's even some shell homies that have that capability of drilling into a shell over time, whether it be maybe like a week or even months. I'll be sure to show a picture of an organism that does that type of activity. Wow. And most of this place is in dedication to Anne Marie. And we're not talking about Anna Maria, as in the town that's in Florida, close to St. Petersburg. No. Anne Marie was a well-known lady who resided in this part of Florida near Fort Myers Beach. She actually did shell collection from places around the world. And honestly, that's who it's really dedicated to. But yeah, here it is. It's so cool. And this talks about how shells basically wash ashore. Most of it has to do with, the currents, especially. And yeah, it even shows like the weather patterns. So basically in the winter, the water goes in a westerly type of direction, as it points out. But then in the summer, it's basically the opposite. There's southerly breezes that actually bring in the shells. And as I've pointed out before, Sanibel is like one of those islands in Florida that has some of the most diverse amounts of seashells found in the state. So it's actually really cool to be checking out this place. Alright, you guys, it's getting a bit noisy. Looks like here it talks a bit about the plight of the Florida tree snail. These were something found in the Everglades. And as a matter of fact, they're described as ligs, according to conchologists. And these are all the separate types of species of tree snails that have been found in the state of Florida. Wow. Talks about some of the colonies. And then, when it mentions about plight, it really talks about, give the fact that, due to overexploitation and even development, they're very hard to find nowadays. And I think even as it mentions on here, they're only surviving in the Everglades and Big Cypress. And honestly, I still really need to go down there and visit those places so bad. It's still on the bucket list. But yeah. Alright, you guys. Didn't want to make this video too long. But yeah, that's just some of the exhibits that are found here. And there's quite a bit too. Very educational. So yeah, we're basically on Sanibel Island. And yeah, this place is really well worth checking out, you guys. If you really want to learn more about, mollusks, especially. So, and it just helps you learn more about the Florida's natural world in terms of the oceans. So, alright, you guys, take care, enjoy your Sunday, and journey on a journey is outwards. Take care, folks. See ya.